We finally got our hands on a 2024 Road Glide right here. This is the newer body style that was introduced in 2023 and a half. That's a half year they split it. So we're gonna do a whole video series on this one, and we have another one coming in for two completely different audio systems. So in this video, to start this whole series off, I'm just gonna do a quick and simple disassembly video on this 2023 and a half, or this is a 24 Road Glide. Might be asking, why do I care about a disassembly video? We did them in the past on the Challenger and the Chieftain, and they're actually really helpful for people. But some people, you know, they look online for a quick disassembly video because they don't want to spend forever trying to disassemble their bikes. So they find the video and it helps them out and it works really well. So we're going to take the time to give you a disassembly of this Road Glide. This should be the same across all the Road Glides for 23 and a half and newer. So we're going to do that first, and then we got more videos after that. So let's, first step is I'm going to get this bike wiped down, and I'm going to put some paint protection film on it because we want to ensure this bike is protected. I will show you that once it's done, and then we're going to start. I prefer to start from the back of the bike to the front, so we'll disassemble the saddlebags, the seat, side covers, tank, and then we'll get the fairing off of it. We'll show you everything underneath it and the process along it, and then we'll jump into future videos. Bike's all paint protected. Don't worry about the fender. We have a fender cover for it. The fairing's all taped off. The tank, the bags, and the lids. The side cover's not, because once we pull the seat off and we tilt the bags back or we take them off, we pop the side cover off and we will paint protect that on top of our shipping blanket right here. And then once we pull the tank off, we also have a tank cover just like that. That's going to go on there, and then you can see over there the fender cover there will go on this bike to make sure everything's paint protected. It's super important that you put the fender cover here because you don't want to drop tools on it, ding the fender. That is like the prime spot to get damaged. So we're going to go ahead and get the seat off first. We'll take the bags off, so then we can get to the side covers, and then we'll take their tank and on up. So I'm gonna get you set up because we're going back old school filming it myself. So we'll get you set up and get that stuff done, and we'll explain it along the way. We're gonna start with the saddlebags. These don't take any tools. I'll take the one off. This hasn't changed from, shoot, at least 2014. These are all the same. This is what came on ours. As you can see, it's a threaded, I'm pretty sure that's quarter 20, but I'm not 100% sure, knob that you can turn, or you can use an Allen right there to take it out, depending on whatever works best for you. But what I always like to do is when I take a saddlebag off, I'll put my leg against it first, you can see that, and then I will unscrew it. That way I'm not depending on the bag supported on the actual drop rails or the rails itself. So as you can see, it's there. You don't want, I mean, even here it's still on there, but you don't want to risk it. So I'll always just drop those back in there. I close the lid, pick up the saddlebag, make sure you're holding onto it firmly. You don't want to drop yours or a customer's bag. So I'm gonna set this aside. We'll pull the side cover off, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. The side cover here is gonna come off just like every other year Harley. So make sure you put your foot peg down. This one has the spikes on there, the studs, so I want to grab it from the bottom as I don't want to risk that getting scratched. So what I don't like about Harleys is how you have to finesse this through here. I'm going to pull it out the back just because of his foot pegs. And as you can see, there's a grommet. There's one there, two here, and three here. Same correlating over here. I mean, essentially this looks like a 14 up frame and everything. I'm not an expert on Harleys, so I'm not even gonna pretend to be. I'm gonna set that aside because we are gonna paint protect that. So let me do the other side real quick, and then we'll get the seat off. One thing I do wanna say that I actually do kinda like is right here. You can actually leave these right there in the grommets. The grommets hold them. That way you don't lose them or anything. We always just put them back in the saddlebags, but we're gonna go put this back and keep on rolling. As I said, we've got the side covers off as I trip over the bike. all paint protected up. As you can see, they are blue, so you don't think we just took some off some other bike. So we're gonna go put these up and get the seat off. What I've come to find out about most of these Harleys is they all come off the same way, but there's usually a couple different ways that people have either changed it from OEM or it's OEM. Right here where my hand is at, this gentleman has put a fancy American flag seat bolt dealio here, so you just grip it and turn it. OEM is a Phillips screw. I've even seen these to where there's a pin and it's got like a flat spot and then these two dimples in it, but then it's got a cap that's locking. So that way you've got to take a key to take the top piece off, then a flathead to pull this off. They're cool, they're secure, they're kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, but hey, it works. So now lift up on the back of the seat. I just pop it back just a little bit. And he's got a backrest on here, so yep, just off to the side. No heated seat or anything. So seat's all off. What I'm gonna do is I just like to put sometimes that bolt right back in there so that way it does not get lost. And we'll continue on up. Before we go taking this tank off, I just wanted to show you real quick. We're gonna be taking off these two bolts right here. It's the same as the 14 and up. That is a Torx 40 on the inside or a 1/2-inch socket. I prefer a socket on there. Pick your poison. And then right here, I think one of them already came off. Yep, right here, there is a like rubber cap. I was already up in here trying to do something that fell off. So same thing, T40 or a 1/2-inch socket again. Oh, here it is. This little guy, it's just gonna be set right up there. It will actually clip on there. I had to take it off as a gentleman had lights on his bike, so had to do that so I get the tank off. But we're gonna go ahead and get these four loose. We'll pick up the tank, identify where the wire connections are for y'all before we pull it, and then we'll show you that. Before we go ripping this tank off, I just wanted to show you something real quick because I had to look it up myself. So this vent line right here, you will disconnect this one. And then up here, you'll see two vent tubes. You see this one where there's no crimp on it and that one where there is. That one that has the crimps has clips across the bottom of the tank that goes here. The other one just goes up here to the cap. One's a vent, one's an overflow. That one will stay on the bike. So we'll just pop that one there and this one here, and then there is one electrical connector right here for the fuel sending unit. You can see it, it's right there. It's just a 4-pin Molex connector. We'll just depin that, pull it off. We'll pop this fuel line, which this isn't the best way to do it, but we'll just put a paper towel under here. You'll push this collet up and it'll pop that off during the fuel right here. And then we'll take the tank off. So I'll get you guys set back up and we'll get that off. Dandy blue shop rag, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the rest of the stuff off first because I don't wanna go grabbing everything else on the tank with fuel covered hands. So we'll push this tab if it's gonna cooperate. There we go. Pushed up on it right here. We're gonna disconnect that first vent line, that's disconnected. Second one's right here. And now I'm going to pop that fuel line, put pressure up on, there you go. You heard that click, I'm sure, because guess what? These Rode microphones are not even Rode, these are DJI microphones, are legit. Shout out to DJI. No, we're not sponsored by them. Bought them on my own money, so not a paid advertisement. Pick up, pull back. There we go. Got to get that vent line. Okay, so people lied online, of course. The vent line is along the frame, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, we'll put the tank back. Right here, I just want to show you real quick. There's these two tabs right here. That's what was holding the vent line from the tank. It goes down. Actually, then it's an overflow line. Then it comes here to here. This other line just goes down. To be honest with you, I don't know. One's a vent line, one's an overflow line. They could be both overflow lines. I don't know. There you go, there's a fuel line. 4-pin connector. So now we're gonna work on getting the fairing off. Let's go ahead and start taking this fairing off. We're gonna start from the back side here. As you can see, we have the speaker grills. I like to pop these off first. So on this one, you're just gonna grab from the corner, pop up like that because there's a retention tab on each side, and then lift up. These kind of hold it, and you have the clips up here. Sorry, not retention tabs. So now we're gonna go over to this side, do the same thing. I'll start out here, pop it out, and now we've got both speaker grills out. Now that those are out, it exposes this T27 screw right here. So we're gonna take that out. And then once that one's out, there is this one up here. So there's gonna be 3 down this back side on each side for a total of 6. So you'll get this one out. Now just know, once you get these fully out, that this whole winglet wind deflector is going to come off. So make sure you grab it just like this, because now that whole thing's gonna come out. We're gonna take this screw out again, T27. And then right here is another one, and right here again, please remember that once you take this off, if you have these wind deflectors, I'm not as versed on Harleys as Indians, this whole thing will come off. Now we're back up to the front of the bike. We're gonna go ahead and take this windshield off. This one is a Clockworks. It has an aftermarket windshield and standoff to kind of lift it up for the customer. So T25, we're gonna go ahead and take off each of these side pieces here. Once you take this off, the whole piece does come off, so that will come off. Same thing on this side. The windshield will sit down in these two right here, so you don't have to worry about it just falling off. But I still like to keep positive contact on the windshield. So now we're just gonna lift up. We're gonna pull this off first. Lift up and out, and the windshield's off. Now that that's off, we're going to take these caps off of each side. Then we're going to remove these 3 T25s. Usually I just leave those right in there, but that one came out with it. And now that whole thing comes off. Same thing over here. Now this one's off. Now with these two pieces off and everything unscrewed, you're going to take a plastic pry tool and you're going to pry along this gap to pop this front piece off, which will allow this to slide forward. When you slide that forward, these little detent pieces will fall out. So you're just gonna take this whole thing off to expose 2 more T27s here and here, which will then release the whole fairing. So when you go to take these off, make sure you've got a good grasp on it, or you're pressing on it forward so the fairing doesn't fall off. That will come off. This just lift up, and you can kind of grab these to make sure they just don't fall off. And then again, 4 more bolts, and then that will release the fairing. Those 2. And we're going to take this one off, and I'm putting pressure on it with the front of me, right by my stomach so this doesn't just fall off, and I can already feel the fairing releasing from the bike. So we're going to take that, going to put these screws in my pocket so we don't scratch it, and then we're going to, which this is probably going to be tough to come off, is we've taped the fairing to the bike. Yep, we are taped to the headlight. I guess that's just another perk of using Tessa tape, because the Tessa tape actually stuck this to the headlight. So we're gonna go and get this put away, get everything else put away, and we're gonna do a walk around of the bike showing you all what's going on in this bike, and then we're gonna explain what we're gonna do, and then that's gonna wrap this video up. This bike is now stripped down to where we are going to need it. So let's just do a quick walk around of the bike, see what we see, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. So front of the nose is off. So one thing here, these are now the speaker enclosures. They should be all the way back here around behind the headlight. One of my favorite features of this new Road Glide is that headlight. It's looking super sleek. Got the built-in air ducts. Now this to me reminds me a lot of the Indian Challengers. I'm not saying that one's a copy of the other. I'm just saying it very well reminds me of one, and I'm super pumped for the innovation. When one company has innovation, it pushes the other company. So you're seeing these constant evolutions of these bikes. It's super, super awesome. So here, Rockford 4-channel amplifier, which we are going to be relocating. So we can put our Cicada amplifier in here. This is probably the GPS antenna, whereas this is the FM antenna over here. You've got a bunch of other stuff here. One of these is probably the USB. That's FM antenna. That's probably GPS. This is probably USB. And this is going to be running from here probably to this amplifier and some other stuff for the entertainment center here. I'm not going to go ahead and take the headlight and stuff out. You know what? I said I wasn't going to take the headlight out, but let's go ahead and remove the headlight. It should just be 4 bolts. We'll take that out and show you what really it looks disassembled. Let's go on an adventure together, y'all. So this should probably come out a lot like the other one, the older model Road Glides. So we're going to take the 4 screws out first and see if it comes out. All right, so far I see 6 bolts. We're going to take these 2 and these 2 out. This is a T30. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to bust these loose, but I'm not going to fully take them out because I don't want this extremely expensive headlight to just fall out of this. So we're going to do that, but we are going to fully remove these ones back here. And what's super smart is that Harley gave you this little groove, so that way once you get this out, you can help feed it out. Or I think that's going to be more important once you go to put the screw back in, because I can only imagine underneath that rack would be a nightmare trying to get it. Yeah, see, actually right here, this is where this is going to be beneficial. Boom. Then right here, we got these 2 right here, so we'll take those out and see if this headlight gets released. And again, I left the top 2 slightly in, so that way the headlight just doesn't fall out, because I do not feel like buying this customer a new Harley-Davidson headlight. Yep, that looks like, yeah, that's going to be it. It's just going to be those 6 screws. So let's take these 2 out. And again, let's put some pressure on it. Got our tools and our screws in our pocket. So there we go. We almost dropped it anyways. So we took that out, and now I see. All right, let's show you the rest of the bike then. All right, I know we already started going all over all of this, but if you know anything about me, you know I just can't leave things alone. I love taking it apart. So we went ahead and took out the rest of everything else here. And I'm really starting to see why people are saying you can't get much in here, because there's no room behind this headlight. It's like Harley put this bracket here, and I guarantee you that almost goes right here. So that's why people for like the bigger audio builds are doing the A to B interface. so that way this is taking out because of that real estate. We are going to be doing a 309 custom amp rack in this one. We'll have an install video on that, along with their fairing shroud. That'll be a couple of videos. But yeah, again, you can see this whole thing is a speaker enclosure, give you more airspace. And again, these are sealed enclosures. We are putting the CH 6.5s in here, so we'll see how those fit in here. Rest of the time, I mean, the backbone looks the same as every other Road Glide to me. There's a little bit more room right here versus the older ones. No, actually, it's just the way the harnesses are. Ignore these. The customer's got aftermarket lights, and that's what this is for, so we're going to route that properly for him. And then the back of it, yeah, I mean, it looks very much like a very typical Road Glide. So this bike's all disassembled, so let's wrap it up. First and foremost, I know we're way behind the curve. It's 2025. These bikes came out, we're going on almost 2 years ago now. It's just, we're known for Indians. We are the Indian motorcycle experts. So it's taken us a little bit of time to get our hands on one of these, but thankful enough, we've got good friends at our local church here that ride with some other MCs and some other people, and we're nice enough to allow us to do this. So we're doing a 2-speaker build on this bike. We'll show you that whole process, but the reason I wanted to do these videos is because Harley on these new ones, they're not easy. They're as parts are coming out for them and people jumped on this bike to make it easier for customers, it's still a complicated bike. So I want to take the time to dive deep into this, show you all this, because if you know anything Davidson Audio, we started the business on one of the most difficult platforms out there, the Indian Challenger and the Indian Chieftain. So we thrive in doing the complicated stuff. So that's why we're jumping on this. That's why we're doing these videos, to bring you all, make it easier for you all to do these systems and to show you different options and how to do things, and fill in the gaps of videos that people are forgetting to put out there for y'all. So that's going to be it for this one. We just wanted to get you the complete disassembly of this bike and show you what all it takes and how it looks disassembled, to help you all if you're going to do some service, want to do some headlights, accessories, whatever it is that you want to do. We wanted to help you all out with that to ensure that you all know how to do it. So I'm Brandon with Davidson Audio, located here in beautiful Panama City, Florida, which today is downpouring rain, so it's not a beautiful day, but guess what? It's still Florida. If you are looking for the best aftermarket audio solution for your Harley, your Indian, period, motorcycle, period, just make sure you come check us out. We'd be more than happy to help you. God bless all of you. Have a great day, and please ride safe out there.